So I just pulled up at the house. I made $105 in 2 hours. Started off getting a $29 Walmart Spark shop. And then while I was in there, it was a 5 item shop. I was going about 9 miles, but it was paying 29 bucks. And while I was in there to getting the 5 items, I got a DoorDash for $14. And I believe it was 14.50, something like that. And the great thing about the DoorDash was the restaurant was exactly on the way for my Walmart drop. And also the drop off was mostly on the way to my Walmart drop. I had to deviate about 2 miles up and 2 miles back. So I went and picked that up, did that on the way to drop the Walmart. When I dropped the DoorDash, it was a hidden tip, said, large order program. The tip was actually $25. DoorDash only paid me $2, typical DoorDash. So I got $27 for that order that I thought I was only getting $14.50. And I took it because it was just kind of bonus dollars, on pretty much the same miles I was already going out for the 29. So I got the 29 for the 5 item shop, 27 for the DoorDash. And then as I was coming back home, I swung by the house, got something to eat. I got a $37 dollar shop at Spark. It was a lot of items, but it was like 33 items. But did I say at Spark? At Walmart. But Walmart is the fastest store by far as for me to shop. I was in and out of that store in under 25 minutes. I'm talking car loaded, like, checked out, car loaded. Walmart is by far the fastest shop. It's the easiest store to do. It's laid out really nice. So, and that delivery was only 2 miles away. And as I was getting ready to deliver that, I got hit for an $11 Chipotle, which is across the street from Walmart. And the delivery was further. It was like 6 miles down, but it was, only 4 miles further than my Walmart was. So I grabbed that. That put me at $105. And as I was getting ready to drop that off, I saw a $53 Instacart, but I wasn't quick enough. I saw it pop up. The app wasn't open. I saw the notification, so I hit it real quick, and I saw enough to see it was only a 4 mile delivery, but I didn't see how many items there were. My guess it was less than 50, because somebody took that thing lickety split, like somebody snagged that, or I could have been talking to you about my 3 hour night for $150. But that just kind of brings me to the topic I wanted to talk about tonight, which is Lyft and Uber versus grocery and food delivery. And I know I'm going to get a lot of disagreement on this, but at least at this point in time, I think Instacart, Walmart Spark, and a combination of DoorDash, Uber Eats are far superior to being a Lyft or an Uber driver. Now, Lyft and Uber drivers, I'm not saying you have to give it up, right? A couple weeks ago, I made $1,250 on Lyft alone, another $500 in food delivery that week. So I made $1,750 that week part-time. I'm not saying you have to give it up, but I will challenge you. I know you cannot make $105 in 2 hours. Wait for the caveat. Regularly, without bonus time. I'm talking about bonus hours. I know you can do it when there's bonuses. I've done it when there's bonuses. I did it 2 weeks ago. So I know when there's bonuses, but that's the catch. You're reliant on Lyft and Uber to give you sufficient bonuses so you can go out and make a decent money. So what do you do when Lyft is not offering bonuses? The week after I made $1,250 driving for Lyft when they had all those crazy bonuses, I made $0 because I didn't go drive for Lyft because the bonuses weren't good enough. Why would I drive for Lyft if I can make more money grocery shopping if I'm going to go out, right? So think about it like this. What makes grocery delivery superior to driving Lyft? Not only can you make more money in non-bonus time, okay, but you're getting paid for your time in the store more so than you're getting paid for how long or how far you're driving. Now, what has a higher expense? You driving your car or you pushing a shopping cart? Right? Let's compare hour to hour. If I'm going to go on a shop that's going to take me an hour, let's say this Walmart shop, that's $37. It took 25 minutes to do the shop. It took me less than 10 minutes to do the delivery. That's 35 minutes. Okay? I drove 2 miles and made $37. You're not going to make $37 driving Lyft or driving Uber X without bonuses, right? Without bonuses, just, wake up and, hey, I want to go drive, right? There's no bonuses being offered, but I want to drive. You're not going to drive somebody 2 miles and get $35, $37. You're not going to do it. You might say, what are you going to get if you drive somebody 2 miles? $3, $4. And you're going to hope for a tip. You think that guy's going to tip you $30 on that ride? No, right? So you cannot make that kind of money for the type of miles. So how many miles would you have to drive Uber X in non-bonus time to make $37? Most often like 40 miles, maybe 30, right? Well, if you're expensing your car as you should be, you need to account for at least 50 cents a mile. So if you're going to drive 40 miles to make your $40, what's this guy doing driving down my street with his flashers on? I don't know. Okay, now you're not making $37. Now you're making, half that, right? Now you're making $17, $18. So now how far are you going to have to drive to actually make? Remember, it's not costing me 50 cents a mile to spend 25 minutes in the grocery store. I didn't get paid $37 to drive 2 miles. I got paid $37 to go shop for these items and then drive 2 miles, right? Your time is your time. Whether I spend an hour in the grocery store or an hour driving somebody around town, it's still an hour of my time. The difference is when I'm driving somebody, I'm also causing an expense by moving my vehicle versus when I'm pushing a shopping cart. Not only is that not an additional expense over my time, I'm getting my steps in, right? So I'm not going to make the argument that you should quit Uber and Lyft and go do Instacart and Walmart, Spark, and DoorDash. But I would make the argument and the recommendation that when it's not profitable to drive for Lyft and Uber, you should consider doing something else. Whether that's grocery shopping, that's up to you. But, I was resistant to it for a long time. When I first started doing Lyft, so I liked it. I was making good money with Lyft part-time. They had Lyft Lux. I drove for that. My acceptance rate was 85, 90%. Remember those days, right? And for the most part, the rides that came in were good as long as they weren't taking me to some crazy area I didn't want to go. Most of the Lux rides that came in, I would do. Of course, I would do the black ones. But these days, Lyft Black barely pays what Lyft Lux used to pay just a year ago. And regular Lyft, forget about it. I'd wipe my ass with the $3 they give you for a ride. That's ridiculous. Like, why would I want to hassle? I don't care if it's, you get so caught up in the dollar to mile. Oh, well, it's only going a mile. It's $3. It's $3 a mile. You want to hassle going and picking somebody up, having them get in your car. It might be 4 people, might be drunk, scuffing up your car, for $3? It's not worth it. Like, why? Like, what's the best case scenario? It's one person getting in, they're super nice, they're respectful, and you drive them a mile and they get out. What's the best case scenario? You made $3 and you had a nice passenger. That's the best case scenario. And you'd say, what's a tip? I don't know about you, but I don't see tips anymore. I see, last time I drove, I did 26 rides, I think. 4 tips. I took a lady to the airport in a car that I do private rides in. I do Lyft Black. This was a regular Lyft going from my area all the way down to the airport, which is a 40-mile drive. The only reason I did it was because I was driving that way anyway, because Lyft was having all the bonuses down in that area. I would have been driving down there for free. Lyft offered me $26. Regular Lyft, $26 to go pick up a lady 5:30 in the morning and take her 40 miles to the airport. $26. I picked her up from a $400 a night resort. She chinched out didn't take a black, didn't take an extra comfort, regular Lyft. I got paid $26. Took her 40 miles. She was in my car almost an hour. Pleasant conversation, very nice lady. How much do you think she tipped me? $0 tip in a $60,000 car where she only paid for a regular lift. She could have had a broken down, beat up old Prius come pick her up. But I pick her up in this. Keep it super clean, super nice. Nice conversation, nice lady. No tip at all. On a 40-mile ride that I got paid $26 on. Guys, how do you do that? You can't do that on a regular basis. If you expense your car, as you should, cover gas, maintenance, future repairs, depreciation, should be at least 50 cents a mile. So what did that ride cost me? $20. I would have had to expense and set aside $20 for that ride. So I made $6. That's what you get with Lyft. $6. Spent an hour of my life. I got $6 after I cover my expense on my car. Right? So I will make the argument that right now, grocery delivery, while it might not be sexy for you Lyft drivers, I know I resisted it for a long time. I didn't want to do it either. I'm like, I suck at shopping. I don't want to shop. But you know what? I tried it. And you know what I did the first time I did an Instacart? I kicked myself in the nuts. It sucked. I made like $30 for 3 hours because I didn't know what I was doing. Right? I made a bad decision. I picked an offer that was only paying $28 and had like 59 items, and I'd never done it before. It took me 3 hours to get it done because I couldn't find anything in the damn store. That was my fault though. But I learned, oh, okay. Don't select an offer that has 60 items unless you're getting paid enough money where it's going to make it cover 2 or 3 hours, because that's how long it's going to take you. So you learn as you get better. So anyway, that's my soapbox for tonight. I had a good night last night, a good night tonight. A little over $50 an hour both nights. Last night was close to $60 an hour. Again, just doing, the theme, guys, multi-app. Don't just be a Lyft driver. You can't do that anymore. It's not 2022, 2021. You got to multi-app. So next time Lyft is slow, DoorDash is trying to say it's steady right now. Next time Lyft is slow, try some DoorDash. Try some Instacart. Now, don't get me wrong. Instacart and DoorDash and Uber Eats all will also give you really shitty offers. You still have to be very selective. But the difference is there will be nice bangers, like that $53 Instacart that I missed, or the $37 shop that I had that I got done in like 30 minutes total from starting the shop to dropping it at the place, or the 5-item $29 shop. There'll be some nice ones in there. With Lyft and Uber, there's not. You're not all of a sudden going to see something, again, in non-bonus time, just regular time, which is more often than not. You're not just going to be sitting there and go, oh my God, look at this $30 ride to take this guy 5 miles. It's not going to happen. It's, 5 miles, $4. 6 miles, $5. And then you get conditioned where 6 miles, $6. Yeah, it's $1 a mile. Okay, it's going to cost you $3, right? And then you drop them off. Do you just sit there at the guy's house and wait for the next ride? Probably not. Depending on where you're at, you might have to drive 3 miles back into your spot to get another ride. So now it wasn't $6 for 6 miles. It was $6 for 9 miles because you had to drive 3 miles back. Anyway, try food delivery. Thank me later.